Hey, yo, what up? I'm Josh Martinez of Z100, New York's #1 hit music station, with someone I've been wanting to interview for a very long time for a litany of personal reasons. Sen, had money in the bank. Damian Priest was good, bro.
How you doing, dog?
Chilling, chilling. Listen, I've been wanting to interview you for a while. Several reasons. One, NuYoRican. Not many of us out here in wrestling, let alone getting into the platform that you're at, right there at the edge of being the second Puerto Rican world heavyweight champion. When you think of something like that, what comes to your mind, bro?
Oh, I get goosebumps. I mean, it's the highest honor, for in this business for representation. For me, it's a necessity. I think where we are right now and what we've accomplished in this short amount of time, especially myself since I've been here and trying to, represent. That's the icing on the cake, and I feel like it's needed.
I discovered you when I was living in Dayton, Ohio, doing radio. Your name was Punishment Martinez, and for obvious reasons, with my last name being Martinez, I was like, I don't even know who this dude is, but I like him. And that's the same feeling. That's the same feeling I had with Savio Vega when I was younger, right? Because he was the first dude I saw with the Puerto Rican flag, and then Razor Ramon was really the first Latino that I saw. My dumbass had no idea that he was a white dude from Georgia, right? But I believed
Yeah,
him.
same. So did I.
Today
As a
is the
kid, you don't know what's what. So, you know,
And unfortunately, today's the 2-year anniversary of Scott Hall's passing. And I know that was one of your favorite wrestlers. What was it about Razor Ramon and Scott Hall that inspired you?
that coolness, that smoothness, that confidence, that I mean, in his words, the machismo. I don't know. It was just I was just drawn to that personality, and like I said, it was just so cool to me, and uh, he played that part really well. That's why, like as a kid, I'm sure adults got it, but as a kid, to me, he was a Latino. You know what I mean? So I was a big fan, and like I said, I like that's the like I love the Undertaker, right? Like he was my ultimate hero. But I was like, but I kind of like in the street, I'm gonna act like Razor Ramon. You know what I mean? Like I'd walk around like he would, and I would do the surfer walk, and it's cool. I got to do it on TV now, but it was definitely something that it wasn't for Scott Hall, I don't know if I'm here. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool.
That's dope. Yeah, first time on stage in Madison Square Garden at Z100's Jingle Ball. I did the Scott Hall Surfer Walk. It's like my little homage to my wrestling fans, because we're all wrestling fans still to this day, right? As adults, like
Or,
that's who we are at our core. Um, for something like Madison Square Garden, for something like Barclays Center, performing in New York City, how different is it here compared to everywhere else on the planet for you personally?
for me personally, it's home, right? So growing up, going to like countless events at Madison Square Garden, now getting to perform there is wild. And then now the Barclays Center, which is an amazing arena, and it's right there in the heart. Like it's in Brooklyn, like it's all that New York vibe. It's different. Like I know as soon as I get there that it's like, here we go, let's go. Like I love being around my people. I love being in New York, and getting to perform where I started. So it always hits a little harder there, and for whatever reason, when I go, like I even get extra nervous. It's just because I don't know, it's just extra pressure. Like I'm home, I got my family, my friends here, and it's this is where I fell in love, and this is where I convinced myself this is what I had to do with my life. So now every time I get to go back, I have to remind myself of that and like show out here extra because this is where you fell in love with this. It's special to me.
From a personal standpoint, political standpoint, professional standpoint, would you say, all things considered, the Bad Bunny match and Backlash was the most important match of your career, or is there something else?
No, by far, it's the most important thing that I've done in my career, hands down. What we did as far as representation, as far as putting that our island on the map again, and not just for us, for Latinos in general, just showing like, yo, we can do this. We can do PLEs all over. Like everything, anywhere that's Hispanic or Latino, like we can do this. Like you see the crowd, you see the emotion, I'm looking forward to having more events like this. Like, I would love to do something in Mexico. There's obviously with my buddy Dominic and the fan base there. That's always somewhere, but doesn't just stop there. I mean, there's a lot of places in Central and South America that have been wanting this for a very long time, and I think Puerto Rico was kind of like, hey, look, we can do it, and so I was very proud. And then I was, on the other side, just proud that I was able to put on the performance that I did with Bad Bunny. He's a very proud guy. So knowing that we got to show out and make our fans proud of us as well was very important. So that was what that match meant, was way more than a win or loss. So I'm very proud.
Who would you say is the most underrated competitor in the locker room today?
Oof, that's rough. It's hard to say underrated when everybody's a superstar. You know what I mean? Like, you're in WWE because you're part of the best.
Yeah.
That's how that works. But that really is rough, because there's so many good talent that they're not, let's say, right here, but their talent is there.
Of course.
So I'm just going to keep it easy and biased. I'll go with my own crew. I think Dominic is underrated. I think Dominic, people see him as the guy that was fun to boo him, and then he gets in the ring, and I think he kind of like, they're like, well, where did that come from? It's like, no, he's good. He's really good. And I think people forget that because they just know the guy that gets booed because it's fun to boo him. And you forget that he can go in the ring, and he's very, very talented. He's his improvement, and since he's joined the Judgment Day, I mean, if you look at Dominic a week before he joined the Judgment Day and you look at him now, it's a completely different person. And I think people forget about that part too.
So speaking of completely different things, obviously the original iteration of Judgment Day with Edge was, I guess, one idea, and then, comparing to what he said in interviews since he's left compared to what it is now. Were you nervous when Edge kind of left Judgment Day and this kind of evolution of Judgment Day kind of started?
Well, yeah, of course, because it went from one person's vision to, what should we do, guys? So there was a little bit of nervousness of, well, how do we decide what direction, what should we do, where should we go, like, how should we handle this? So we didn't know, and I think we all kind of felt like we're not sure if this is going to work now, and it turns out to be the best thing we did.
Yeah, no, listen, you guys are the hottest thing in wrestling right now, and that's not on accident. You know what I'm saying? I had fans submit questions. So this comes from Willie, because clearly we all have to know at least one Puerto Rican named Willie. What is your favorite tattoo and why?
Oof. Well, my back piece, because it took the longest, it hurt the most. But it has a lot of just all the things, the dark and weird and all that stuff that I like. It has like a combination of things, with the skulls, the Grim Reaper, flames, and sky, and the whole thing is inside of skull with the crossbones. I just thought, like, the detail and just the thought process that came into it, and like I said, different things that I liked, and I was like, well, I like this, and I'd like to show this out this way and that way, and then having this giant piece on my back, that was definitely for me. I guess that would be the one.
Who is someone you would like to work with today, whether they're even in WWE or not, that you get excited when you think about it, but just haven't yet?
I mean, The Rock is back. And seriously, man, right now, because I'm dead focused WWE, right? I've never squared up with Roman. So that's always in the back of my head. I'm like, we've never touched nothing. So that I'd be lying if I didn't say I haven't thought of that.
If only you had some sort of purple accessory to make that happen. Coño, man. If only.
Yeah. If only. And if only, he was around more often and I was on SmackDown more often. But time will tell. Like, I'm not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. We're gonna square up at some point. So I look forward to that.
Quick game of this or that. I'm gonna just give you two things. You got to pick one or the other. All right. Yellow rice or white rice?
Yellow.
Pernil or pollo?
Pernil.
Yankees or Mets?
Yankees, bro.
Attaboy. Attaboy. Jets or Giants?
There you go. Giants.
Knicks or Nets?
Knicks.
Rock or Austin?
Rock.
Felix Trinidad or Miguel Cotto?
That's not cool. That's not cool. That's the hardest question you've asked. I can't even answer that, man.
Now you got to think this one makes sense. Scott Hall or Razor Ramon?
Razor.
Hector
Oh,
Lavoe or Mark Anthony?
Hector.
Daddy Yankee or Bad Bunny?
I can't pick Bad Bunny after what he did to me.
So what would you say is your most, as we get into WrestleMania season, the go-home show for WrestleMania, the go-home Raw, excuse me, April 1st, Barclays Center. Tickets are on sale right now. You guys have had consecutive TV sellouts. The hottest product in all of sports entertainment right now is WWE leading into WrestleMania. What is your favorite WrestleMania moment as a fan? Not one that you participated in, but as a fan.
Oof, a moment. Because I have matches, but a moment, which the moment is the same thing as the moment at the end. Man, Taker, Shawn, and Triple H standing on that stage together. That moment, like I was like, man, this is what I grew up on. These were the guys these were my heroes. Just them on that stage, kind of like the last dance type of thing. I was just like, that one hit me. That would be my favorite moment.
And what was your favorite match growing up as a kid?
As a kid, you don't know what's good or not. You just like stuff and you like your favorites. But my favorite match that I remember was Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. I just love the story behind them. And then as I got older, obviously Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels 25 was my all-time favorite. It's to this day, it's my all-time favorite match. It had everything you would want in this industry, and that's as close to perfect, if that's even a word that you could use in this business, that you can get. Love that match.
Same, by the way, that's mine as well. Before we wrap things up, this is called the Superstar Crossover. So my last guest has a question for you.
What's the next step? What's the next step in your career? It's because we're always looking to do a little bit more than we did last year. What's the next step for you?
Well, it's kind of obvious with the briefcase, but I just want more. I just want to achieve more. I just want to keep building, this resume and keep representation going. That's the next step, is just be better tomorrow than I was today.
I love that. What's your question for our next guest? It could be, by the way, anybody from Ring of Honor, New Japan, AEW, or even in your own locker room.
Why do you do this? Why do you do this?
Why do you do this?
Me? Because I was born for this. I literally, there's nothing in this world that I could see myself doing anymore. I love every second of this. And the emotion I get from the crowd, the support I get from let's say my heritage, the representation, the platform I have to create and to inspire, with my story. And if I made it, if I can make it, then just about anybody can. You just got to put in that work. So that's why I do it.
One more time, Damian Priest. Appreciate you stopping by, bro.
My pleasure, dude.